Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Family Fun Force podcast. I'm Jess,
I'm Matt.
and today we are doing episode 19 on It Takes Two. It Takes Two is rated T for teen for animated blood, comic mischief, fantasy violence, and language. Was there something else? Technically, there's alcohol in this. We talk about it, but it wasn't rated for that, I guess, because it happened one time. I don't know. Available on PC, PS4/PS5, Xbox One/Xbox Series S/X.
That's
I'm
too many
saying
slashes.
a lot of slashes now. I'm gonna have to find a better way to say that. That's gonna be the new thing, because everything's gonna be on PS4 and PS5, and Xbox One and Xbox Series S/X. I was about to say, I can't say it. This is a family-friendly podcast. I can't say it. It's fine. This is exclusively a two-player game. You cannot play the single player.
Oh, wait, really?
You cannot play the single player.
Oh,
It is a cooperative adventure puzzle platformer. Rated 88 on Metacritic. That was pretty much across the board between every single console was about 86 to 88. So I'm just saying 88. Get you a synopsis. Embark on the craziest journey of your life in It Takes Two, a genre-bending platform adventure created purely for co-op.
what part about this is genre bending? Anyways,
I don't know.
this is AAA, the game.
I'm not done.
Okay.
I just took a breath, okay? Well, I said it weird and I thought about redoing it, and that's fine. Play as the clashing couple Cody and May, two humans turned into dolls by a magic spell. Trapped in a fantastical world, they are reluctantly challenged with saving their fractured relationship by the suave love guru Dr. Hakim. A huge variety of gleefully disruptive gameplay challenges stand between them and their return to normal. Okay, I'm done now. What do you
Are
have
you
for
done?
us, Matt?
I'm done too. Developed by Hazelight Studios, who also did A Way Out,
There you go.
which is basically the same game.
Except a lot more graphic and for adults
And gay.
and yeah, I guess. I don't know. I haven't played
They're
it.
gay. You cannot convince me they're not gay.
Okay. Well, it has a more depressing ending. No spoilers, but it's a lot more depressing.
It was published by EA. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yep. So game mechanics, co-op, story-based, action, adventure, platformer, everything else, literally. You control two characters who each have unique abilities. These abilities change every chapter. They're always unique. They're always slightly different, so you have to work together. Use your abilities to solve puzzles. There are lots of cutscenes.
Yes, very story heavy. 10.
That's all I got.
Okay. Want to give some examples of the type of abilities your
Yeah.
characters have?
Okay. Cody can throw nails,
Uh-huh.
and May wishes she could throw nails.
And May is the hammer. Hammer and nails, get it?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really use nails on a hammer. So
Yeah, but the nails are way cooler than the hammer.
all right.
Cody also gets a gun that squirts
Shoots
honey.
Shoots honey goo.
What's wrong with it? Squirts.
And May
It
has a
squirts honey.
flamethrower. A flamethrower
No,
is
it's not a
infinitely better.
flamethrower. It's a matchstick railgun rocket launcher.
Okay, well, that is infinitely better than shooting goo.
I agree.
So, each character has their own perks and unperks. I don't know.
They can both ground pound.
Yeah, they can both ground pound. I don't know if there's much else to say about the mechanics. There's a lot of rail riding.
Once you get comfortable with one mechanic, they switch it up on you.
They do that, but there is a lot of rail riding between several levels, and there's like a what's the word I'm looking
It's
for
Sonic
here?
the Hedgehog rail riding. I want to be very
Yes,
explicit.
That's fine. The rope. What do you call that? When you use the rope to get across.
Yeah, you do have grapple.
Yeah, grapple
I guess
hook. There's
that
a grapple
stays
hook.
with you too.
Yes, the grapple hook and
Like
the
I
rail
said,
riding are pretty consistent.
Every AAA game ever.
Well, there's no crossbow, at least as far as we got.
I'm fairly certain there is a crossbow.
Shoot.
Eventually.
Shoot, dude. Okay. Is that all we got?
As far as game mechanics and that's the game.
It's pretty basic in terms of gameplay. You got your story level, you got some little people to deal with on the way, some enemies, and then there's boss fights. Yeah, a lot of platforming, timed jumping, And a lot of it's dependent on cooperation because that's the kind of game this is. So, well, I guess I'll go into my thing then if you're not going to lead me into it.
Go
But
for it.
for adults, this is a very relatable relationship game that blends humor and cooperation well. It also offers mini games that are competitive that break up the long sections of teamwork. For kids, this is a cute. Wait, I'm not
Wow.
supposed to say that
Just
next.
skip me. Wow.
Sorry,
Hi,
Matt. What do you think
co-host Matt here.
for adults?
I think adults will find the characters very relatable. This is a game where they don't cut corners with the dialogue. These are two people who are on the verge of a divorce, and they let you know that a lot.
They hate each other.
I will also put out like mild content warning if you're having relationship issues or if your children have
Dealt with divorce.
dealt with adults with
Yeah,
relationship
this is
issues.
kind of triggering.
You maybe give this some time because they lay it on thick. It does have interesting game mechanics that change constantly. We mentioned hammers and nails. There were the matchstick launcher and the goo gun. You got to fly a pair of underwear. Yeah, there's lots of interesting things. Just turn into electrical signals. No shortage of interesting mechanics, but I do still stand that they're every AAA mechanic you've already played, which is both a good thing and a bad because you basically instantly know how to do everything when it's first introduced. But on the same note, you do kind of just see where they've stolen everything every time it happens. They also encourage a lot of passive aggressive behavior between the two players. Like there's literally a part where one player can choose to imprison the other player and torture them. That's just part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of little things like that where they encourage you to take out your frustrations on each other. There's lots of like little competitive sections. It encourages you, especially through dialogue. Like a lot of times, say Cody was throwing a nail and May was riding it. If Cody retracted the nail, May would make a comment as she died.
It's only fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those are all interesting things I think adults would enjoy. What kind of stuff would kids find fun?
I would say for kids, this is a cute puzzle game that relies on communication and patience with others.
What's that?
It offers split screen, but also a free friend pass on all consoles, so only one person needs to own it. You do, however, need to have Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus if you are playing online with someone else.
On those respective consoles,
Yes. Not on
obviously.
PC. Yes. PC Master Race, whatever you want to call
Hmm.
it. Chuckles to himself. What do you think about for kids?
Yeah, I think kids will like the colorful, crazy world. I mean, these are two adults that get turned into dolls. They're pretty,
Adults?
yeah, they're pretty
Uh,
cute dolls, honestly. Everything in the levels, it's like a twisted rendition of reality. So you're jumping through the electric lines of the house, but it's not like, realistic electric lines. There's all sorts of crazy stuff, like old-fashioned fuse boxes and you're literally turning into electric signals and riding these rails through different sections of the house that are obviously impossible. And the characters comment on the fact often. At one point, you go inside of a tree where there is a war going on between squirrels and hornets, and you're thrust in the middle of it, and it's up to you to resolve that. Yeah, lots of crazy, crazy things that are interesting for children. They'll find it fun. Graphics are really fun. Can't stop mentioning like the mechanics are constantly changing, so there's lots of fun games and mini games, the little competitive sections. And yeah, the whole game's entirely cooperative, so kids will play together or you'll play with your kids to get through the game. What do you hate about It Takes Two?
I don't hate anything. I'm going to talk about what I liked.
Okay.
I personally really enjoyed the graphics, story, and gameplay. The story
That's
was,
all the game, so
yeah,
you
I
would like
enjoyed the
some part of
whole,
that. That
oh, the whole game.
a video game is.
The story was very relatable, and I enjoyed the puzzles. The
How
puzzles.
relatable is that story? Let's talk about that. I
No,
want
we're gonna just skip over
to
that.
deep dive
Um,
into.
I really like the puzzles because there were some we kind of got stuck on, but we never got stuck on something like more than 5 minutes at a time.
I refuse to acknowledge us getting stuck on any
Okay,
puzzles.
well, we did get stuck before, but when
Mm-mm.
we shut off the game and came back to it, we figured it out real fast. It's fine. I think the Friends Pass is a great idea for co-op online play. I don't see there's some games now that are doing it frequently, but older games it's like, you and your friend both need to buy the game and have the online pass. Well, now it's just like, well, some of these games that aren't AAA title, which to start this game is only $30.
Ooh, it's $30.
It's half the cost of a standard game.
Every single time the price gets mentioned on this podcast, you're always like, "This game is only X," and I'm always like, "It's X."
Okay, well, I used my birthday money to get it, and I paid $5 out of
How
pocket.
old are you, Jessica? Do you want to say this on the podcast?
Does anyone care how old I am? Does anyone listening this care how old I am? I
Everyone
almost
cares.
said again how old I was on my stream last night because I was
Ooh.
like, "Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out in 1992." Huh.
Huh. Interesting. That's a
Interesting.
unique date that has no
Cough, cough.
relevance to our conversation.
Okay. I like the level design and how they made the characters work together, if forcibly, but they did have to work together. I like the hammer and nail concept. I think the best out of the cooperative abilities. I just liked it. I don't know. It was a good metaphor. Well, what did you like about the game?
I enjoyed it. It was fun. The cooperative sections are entertaining. The unique mechanics constantly changing. They were nice. I liked that it didn't dwell too long. Probably because the mechanics themselves are so shallow that if it dwelled too long, you would get bored. So I like that they recognize that and they change stuff up frequently. I especially like the dialogue between Cody and May. Like they're just
Cody!
always at each
Cody!
other's throats, and it really like sucks you in and like reinforces that these are two people,
These are two
and
grown adults who don't want to deal with each other.
and I loved how relatable they were. Like
Yeah, Matt, how were they relatable?
basically May is my spirit animal and Cody is Jessica's spirit animal. And it just every time they got in a little snippy argument, we're like, we had that argument last week.
Okay, no.
Maybe there are a few exceptions, but I don't know. It was pretty close. Their reactions were very super relatable, and it was just always funny to see how they handled things.
Yeah, when we streamed this, we made a point of I was like, I'm gonna play as the guy because I think that's funny, and then you can play as the girl, and then I was the guy, and
Yep.
Mad was the girl.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you not like?
Some things that were not as enjoyable were the book. Oh God, it's so
Oh,
annoying, but I think it's meant to be.
I'm glad that
Um,
I forgot about him.
Dr. Hakim, at your service. Some fights seemed harder than others when they shouldn't have been. Cough, cough. Like earlier of the Hornet fights seemed like more difficult, and you got to the boss one, and it wasn't hard.
It's just because it threw you in before you learned stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I mean, they seemed harder when they shouldn't have been.
But
Uh,
like Cody puts down the goo and then May explodes the goo
yes.
because goo by itself is useless.
All right. Time sections prove time consuming when done wrong. Like really time consuming. The game itself is a tad bit depressing. There's some language, and some of the story sequences were pretty dark. So overall, I would say I'm hesitant to let a less than 12-year-old play this game. That's my 2 cents. What did you not enjoy about the game?
I made the joke a bunch of times now that this is AAA title of the game. It's incredibly linear.
I don't think this was marketed as a AAA title though.
No, I'm not saying it is a trip. Well, I mean, it is an EA game, but this takes mechanics that you already know because it just straight up steals them from other games. And it's just like, yep, this is it. And on one hand, it is a strength for the game because you can just go through these new sections and it feels familiar and you know what you're doing. On the other hand, it kind of cheapens it. It doesn't let the game invest in like complex puzzles because it's always like, oh, let's just move on to the next parody game system. So nothing ever gets deep, nothing's ever difficult. As I said, everything's super linear. It's just like, just go here, push this button, wait for the Cody to push that button. This opens, hooray! Next level, done. It was like super simple. The mechanics, while they were interesting and they were fun because it took you maybe 5 minutes to learn them. There was no further learning once you understood them, and it was like, oh, okay. It's also probably way too depressing for children.
Yeah, it is.
Children are probably going to instantly associate, Cody and May with their parents, and then any of what we find humorous quips as adults who can separate, reality from fiction. The children are just gonna like, oh my god, mama and papa said that
My
yesterday. Are
parents
they
are gonna
going to
get a
get a divorce?
divorce.
Oh no. Yeah, that not good. No. That's probably like everything I really didn't like about this.
Yeah, all fair points. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Some of the mechanics were like very thoroughly reused because I think I was making comments even, which I've made this comment in other games because when I played the reboot Tomb Raiders, there were huge sections of Lara just like going straight down a hill and having to, move the analog stick left or right to avoid debris. And now I
Just
notice it in every other
uh-huh.
game.
Yep,
And I'm
just
like, is this Tomb Raider? Am I
this
playing
this
Tomb Raider?
is the QuickTime event cutscene. Press all your buttons and
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of button pressing. It's just moving the analog stick. But yeah, these QTE bits and games are like the exact same in every
to
single
to
game.
be fair, we hadn't encountered any QTEs in It Takes Two,
I'm just saying there were sections of sliding downhill, and I was like, "Am I playing
but
Tomb Raider?"
yeah,
Because it
that
happened more than once.
there was the sliding down and dodging obstacles sort of mechanic that cropped up a bunch of times. There was the Sonic rail riding that
Yeah,
cropped up a bunch of times. You can definitely tell when it's mechanic that they just lifted from another game,
yeah. I mean,
which were most of them.
it's helpful for people who aren't huge gamers because they're like, "Oh, I've played this before. I know what to do." Like when it came to the rail riding, I was like, "Oh, I understand its mechanic completely. It doesn't need to explain it to me." And it's helpful for kids in that way too. It's just for people who are like avid gamers, it's kind of just obnoxious. But it's the way it is with some of these newer games, unfortunately.
Guess we should talk about the books.
Oh, I hated it. What else is there to talk about the book? Do you think anything in that book is actually helpful to fixing relationships?
I don't know that the Doctor Hakim is his name.
Yeah,
The
but
book.
you want to Google it and look up the chapter names?
No, I'm good.
No.
Um,
I want to know who sold this small girl this book.
right. Yeah, Doctor Hakim, super heavy-handed. Obviously, he's like the main story driving factor. He's the reason you turn into dolls, and just I don't know. I like that Cody and May hate him as much as the players will hate him.
I mean, let's be real. If you're in the position where you go to, couples therapy, usually one person doesn't want to be there and they hate the
Oh well, I
therapist.
mean, in this
So,
case, Cody and May hate the book.
yes.
Cody, for like a brief 30 seconds, is like, "No, let's listen to the book," and instantly regrets it, and
Well,
I love that.
I
But
mean, in this case, they both hate him because neither of them want to fix their relationship. They want to be done. They're ready to be done. So they never considered repairing the relationship. They were like, "This is what's happening. We're done. We're getting divorced." And obviously, the daughter's like every other child in existence, is like, "Oh, the divorce is my fault. I must fix this." Not that I have any experience, but I watch TV, so
I
I
watch
know.
television.
I
I
know
watch
how the
prime
kids feel.
time, or is prime time? Is that what all the housewives watch?
I'm not a housewife. I don't watch
Okay.
primetime. What you consider a housewife is not my role. I don't stay at home and do nothing
Yeah,
all day. So I go to work like a normal person,
like a millennial.
like a millennial, because we don't have enough money for just one of us to work and have a kid. We both have to work to have a kid, which is in the case what kind of the issue is in this game because May works too much and never spends any time with her family, and Cody also works, but he works from home, but he's still not paying enough attention to his child. So the child and the family as a whole are being neglected, and that's why divorced.
I like that their child Rose. I like that her like go-to hideaway spot is like in the sketchiest part of their garage.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most creative area is the garage.
She's under the home-built desk with nails sticking
Uh huh,
out.
yep, everywhere. It's fine. Nails are fine
Oh,
as long as you get your tetanus shot. PSA, get your tetanus shot. You're supposed to get one every 10 years.
oh wow! I haven't got one in more than that. That's
Last
for
time I
sure.
got mine was like the day after I had my kid. Because I was like, hey, I'm due for tetanus. Should I get it while I'm pregnant or right after? And they're like, you can get it right after. I'm like, literally got the tetanus booster the day after I had my kid.
Oh, I like that all the bosses are old things that they neglected.
Yes, I mean, the repercussions of ignoring problems in your marriage are that you still have to deal with them at some point.
The angry vacuum cleaner, the wasp's nest that Cody was supposed to have taken care of.
Yeah, we didn't get much farther than that, guys. So if you've played it and you know the other things, cool. But
We'll
we didn't.
eventually finish this
Yeah, we're definitely
for
gonna
sure.
finish it. It's just we only really have the time to stream once or twice together a week, so it was hard to get this in
Going
a lot.
back to working all the time and not having time for
Yeah,
family. Hey.
yeah. You guys can understand that. You should comment and give us a review.
Oh wow.
Commenting about how you understand that in your
If
own
you have
personal
marital
life.
problems, you should comment and
You
leave
should
us a
review.
five-star review.
I didn't say 5 star. I just said review. Okay. I'm not the person who's be like, you better give me a 5 star, no review at all. You should just leave us a review, please, guys. I still think we have no reviews. We
Yeah,
need
that's true.
reviews, please, or send us an email just to
I'm
say
cutting most
hi.
of this out.
You want to be a pen pal? I'll pen pal you.
Wow, this is where it's coming. Okay,
Yep.
well, if you want to talk to Jessica, you don't have to be your pen pal. You could instead just head over to.
Discord,
Well, how would they get to the Discord unless they're a part of the?
Facebook,
There you go.
or
Yeah.
my streams. I post the links to our Discord in my streams.
Or you could watch her not safe for work streams.
Hey, they're not always not safe for work. They're just not safe for children. I mean, it's fine to swear at work, right? Everyone does it. Let's be real. They're like, don't swear at work,
I
and then
mean,
everyone does it.
if you swore the way you swear on streams at work, you'd get fired.
I mean, yeah, no, that's why I keep my mouth shut at work. People are like, why are you so quiet? I'm like, because otherwise you'd be hearing a lot of swears. A lot of swears.
Yeah.
I can't control myself, guys. Hey,
So
let me just tell a little story about how I didn't swear at all until I was like 13. And I legitimately mean that. I didn't swear. It was to the point where my mother and sister offered me $20 to swear because they wanted to hear me swear. And I said no. That's wrong to take money for doing something like that. And then I hooked up with this dude over here.
I was gonna say, and then she met me, and
And
all her
then
morals disappeared.
all literal broke loose. And now I can't stop, guys. It's a serious
See,
problem.
this is why you shouldn't repress things when you're young, because it's all gonna come spilling out when you're older.
Yeah, believe me, guys, I know about repressing things and then all spilling out. You should not repress yourself. Be free. Be the person you are meant to be. Is that enough of a
Wow. All
tangent
right. Well,
there?
if you like hearing that kind of stuff, check her out at Dragon of
Underscore
Rampage on
of
Twitch.
underscore
Yeah, lots
rampage.
of underscores.
And then you can check this guy out at MR. Or do you have underscores?
Yeah, I got underscores.
Where are the underscores?
It's MR underscore
Underscore
universe underscore
under,
guy on Twitch. I
Twitch.
don't stream too much anymore.
We're also both on YouTube. We stream
Oh, sure, yeah.
simultaneously YouTube and Twitch.
Eventually, my YouTube will have actual video content when I'm finally out of my issues and I can focus.
Out of your issues.
Yeah,
You want to talk
adult
about it?
issues. What, you want to
Have
be
an
my
intervention?
therapist here on
I mean,
the
isn't
podcast?
this whole game? This game was about fixing relationship problem.
I'm ready.
Okay, want to talk about it?
No. We'll dig into that on your stream
Oh
sometime.
God, no! Please no.
What kind of similar titles would you recommend for people who enjoy It Takes Two?
I would say if you like this title or are looking for something similar to it, Portal 2, specifically the cooperative mode, because the single player, I mean, is good if you like puzzle
I
stuff
mean, they're
and
both
platformers.
cooperative games.
But yeah, Portal 2,
That's where the similarities end.
cooperative. 3 games we've reviewed already: Chariot, Moving Out, Deep Rock Galactic. All also
Boop.
cooperative, require communication, patience, platforming.
I'm kind of glad we stopped playing Chariot. That was giving me like.
Oh man, I love Chariot, but it is very stressful.
I was so angry after Chariot.
Um,
I couldn't focus.
if you want to
for
get
like a
even
day.
more stressed out, Overcooked, made by the same people who did Moving Out. I definitely enjoy Overcooked more than Moving Out. If that is a deciding
Yeah.
point for anyone, get Overcooked first, Moving Out later. Moving Out was actually free at some point on Epic Games. I
A
don't think
lot
it
of
is
good that
anymore.
doesn't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Some people like queue up all the free games and then never touch them. So, go back to it if you did download it for free. We haven't played it yet, but if you are an adult and into relationship focused games, Haven. That is something
Mm.
we are planning on playing soon, but that is very adult content, so not for kids. That's what I got. What do you think in terms of similar games?
Have you played a AAA title released in the last 4 years? Go play it again, because part of it was in It Takes Two.
You're telling them to play the new Call of Duty? What is wrong with you?
I mean, I don't know if there are first-person mechanics at any point in It Takes Two, but I
I
wouldn't be
mean,
surprised.
I shoot what you would consider a gun that shoots goo, and you shoot a gun that shoots explosive. So I mean, gun,
Yeah.
first
Okay.
person. Is that it? You're just gonna say a AAA title? Insert blank here.
Quite honestly, like I tried to think of an action adventure game that was similar, and my answer came up every action adventure game.
Okay, well, if he's not gonna give
Or
a legitimate answer, or what?
that's my answer. Like
Okay.
this is similar to so many games. I couldn't even like narrow it down.
If
It's just
you
like
are looking for a child-friendly, story-focused platforming
Sonic,
game,
Spyro,
Sonic, the re-release of
Crash
Spyro,
Bandicoot,
the re-release of Crash, and there is Crash 4. Those are all available on
Super
next
Mario.
generation. I mean, yeah, I guess you could play a Mario game. I'm not a big fan of Mario games, but that's just me.
Uh, Go play Monster Hunter Rise. It has nothing to do with this game, but everyone should just go play
I mean,
Monster
it's
Hunter
cooperative,
Rise.
but it's nothing like this game. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh. I don't know what else to say. I did really enjoy this game, to be honest. I really
Well,
enjoyed it.
yeah. I mean, we're on to personal feelings, Jessica. How would you rate this?
Definitely recommend. No less than 12. Definitely not for you if you hate co-op, because the only way you can play this is cooperative.
Or if you're having relationship
Or if you're
problems,
having
this is
relationship
not
problems.
going to
Yeah,
solve
this
them
is
for
gonna
you.
make it worse. If you're having relationship problems, please go see a therapist. Don't play video games.
I don't know. Video games work for us.
Okay, well,
We're
okay.
gonna go play some Apex, right? Get over
Yeah,
our issues.
yeah, totally. Elbow issues. Okay. What about you, Matt? What's your personal rating?
Yeah, I recommend it for people who have a friend. You're gonna enjoy this.
I recommend it for people who have a friend.
Yeah, if
If
you
you don't
have
have
a
a
friend,
friend, you're not playing this
if you
game.
don't
Just
have a
leave.
friends, you probably aren't gonna enjoy this game.
I don't know if there's any way to like have an open lobby for somebody randomly on the internet to join. I think you have to have somebody like
You know what? You can dodge
invited.
that problem by coming to our Discord or our
You
Facebook
could.
group.
I'll play the game with you. And cool thing is, the person who owns the game can play with anybody anytime. The other player can drop in, drop out. You can pick back up at any part in the story. Somebody who plays the game via the pass, it does also save their progress too, so they can hop back in the game. They don't
Hmm.
have to be with the person they originally played with. At least, quote unquote, that is what the website said. So if that's wrong, it's not my fault. That's what the website for the game said, but it's supposed to save your save file even if you don't have the full game.
So yep, if you're an adult, you're gonna enjoy this. If you're not an adult or you're not comfortable with the relationships in your life, maybe take a pass on this one.
It's a really popular game though, so
I mean,
it's
kids can still have fun with this. I'm
yeah,
just worried when
the
if the kid
content,
is old enough to understand the content, they might get scared of the content.
right. I mean, as I would say with anything else, there's always a good place for conversation starters. This could be a conversation starter, but I wouldn't be like, "Hey Timmy, here's this game. Mom and dad are dad and I are getting divorced." Don't
Oh
do don't
God!
do that. Don't do that.
Wow.
But it's fine to be like, yes, what you're seeing in the game is the mom and dad are getting divorced. Sometimes that's the only solution for some people, and some people can work through it. It just depends on what
Other
you.
times they get turned into dolls and set
Uh,
each other on fire.
yeah, other times
That's
they get
just how
turned
it
into dolls and
happens.
they're trying to make their daughter cry. Um, so
Hmm.
it could be a good conversation starter, but not something I would use to drop the "we're getting divorced" on you. So.
Or give it a try. We're not experts.
But I'm just gonna we didn't get to that part in the game, so tiny spoilers.
No, no
I'm
spoilers.
not gonna
Shush.
give too much away. I watched some VTubers streaming this game together, so I saw most of the gameplay already.
You watch some VTubers.
Yep, I watched some VTubers. Anyways, so towards uh, the end, not exactly the end, but towards the end of the game, like I said, uh, they come to this conclusion that they have to make their daughter cry to get the spell broken. So they're like, "How are we gonna make our daughter cry? They do something very mean to her toys, and honestly, it disturbed me. So, if you're easily disturbed, yeah, you probably don't want to play this game. It's not like there's no gore in this game because everything's toys and stuff, right? But it is kind of graphic and violent.
I mean, you murder those wasps.
Yeah, I'm saying what happens later is more graphic than that. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to spoil it, but it made me uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't know if I can play this part when I get to this part in the game. So we'll see how it happens for me when we get to that part. But okay, yeah, that is all I've got. So yeah, we already mentioned, but you can find us on Facebook via Family Fun Force. You can join our Family Fun Force pod group and join our Discord. Matt and I both stream. We would appreciate it if you check this out on Twitch and YouTube. So this is on you, Matt. What's our next title? You don't even talk to me about it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't. So what's our next title, Matt?
Operation Mango Bee Burb Tuber. Is that what she calls herself?
I'm sorry,
You're like,
what?
you don't even know what I'm talking about.
Operation Tango.
Mango. The
Tango.
Burb Tuber.
Takes two to tango. Operation Tango. Bye, everybody. We'll catch you again real soon.
Bye bye. It was developed by Hazelight Studios, who also did It Takes Two, which is kind of the exact same game,
Sir?
except your...
You just said It Takes Two.
Wow. I did.
I didn't mean to
Like-
do that. There was no space in my notes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to say exactly 3 sentences, and I'm going to skip you. This is my podcast now. No one else's.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Alright, I'm not doing this bit no more.
Oh,
So you're a British lady. That's hot.
yeah. Thank you. It's either you hate your father or...
You want to Oedipus your mom.
Yeah. I don't think that made it better.